Coming up next is Terry Payne with some public information you might find interesting.
This year, the City of Hot Springs has $65,000 to dedicate to sidewalk improvements. And with me today is Gary Carnahan, who is the city's engineer, to tell us about some of the issues that we're dealing with here on Whittington Avenue.
This is a great laboratory for sidewalk needs in this Whittington area. And the first one is right here. We have a utility vault that's 2 inches higher than the sidewalk. So in order, it's too expensive to change out this huge vault with equipment inside. So we'll have to come back and cut the sidewalk and re-pour this section of sidewalk up level with the utility vault. And then, as you can see going forward, the sidewalk just stops. We have grass instead, and going up the hill to where we have a lot of residential areas, there is no sidewalk, a gap in the sidewalk going in that direction. And here to our left, we actually have a painted crosswalk, but we have no sidewalk and no ADA handicap ramp. Across the street, you see the green strip, and we actually had planned to install new sidewalk along that section over to the bike shop where our bus stop is located, but we ran out of funds. When we took the bids, we had to stop the project short. So in our next bid, we hope that we have funding to continue this sidewalk over to the bike shop and the bus stop there. Terry, I'd like to show you here some of the reasons that we have sidewalk failures are related to utility repairs and utility installations. Here's a prime example. Someone has replaced this water line apparently, and the water meter, and in the process the sidewalk has been broken off and never repaired. In truth, we need to cut out all the way back to the seam in the sidewalk and replace this entire panel and make it smooth and easy to walk on. Over in this next one, we can see the same thing, another utility repair probably here that was poured back, but it was just poured back with broken lines. They take the broken area and poured it back right exactly where it was broken before. And so we need, again, we need to cut this out to the seams in the panel of the sidewalk and replace that entire panel, make it where it's safe to walk. Terry, let me point out another reason we need sidewalk repairs and things that break sidewalks. This is a good example of where heavy truck traffic has jumped over the curb or backed over the curb and put a load on the sidewalks it was not designed for. It's really just designed for pedestrian use, and when heavy trucks use the sidewalks, you see what can happen. So we're going to have to cut all this out and replace it. Okay, Terry, here's another type of sidewalk failure that's different than the others we looked at. Here we have an area in the woods that's draining down, so we have wet moisture that collects under the sidewalk and on the low part of the sidewalk, and in the wintertime that ice freezes and the surface of the concrete then has broken off due to freezing and thawing. So it makes a very dangerous place to walk, and we'll have to cut out that section and repair it. Terry, these beautiful trees are our friends, and we love them. They're all over the city, but they also cause problems with our sidewalks. Here, the big roots from this giant oak tree have spread and lifted the sidewalk up almost an inch and a half above. A terrible trip hazard. So this section is going to have to be cut out and reworked. And when we do that, sometimes we have to saw off part of the tree roots, which we don't like to do. And we try to preserve the trees and make sure that they will be healthy, but we have to make a way either to lower that section, or perhaps we'll have to cut this section out and raise it up to that level. So tree roots cause a lot of problems with sidewalks. Terry, here we've excavated. We're going to install a new handicap ramp to provide continuity from the sidewalk across this intersection. And as you can see, we have to coordinate the elevation of the utility boxes and valves as we do that, so that when we're finished, everything levels up. And I'd like to show you on this side, here we have a sidewalk that has an old sidewalk that was installed, but now it's basically gone away, eroded away into a narrow path, and part of it is gone. No sidewalk at all, no handicap ramp. and it's more like there's evidence of a lot of use, so we need to add a sidewalk to fill in this gap and give them a full ADA sidewalk in this area.
Now, Gary, you've illustrated a number of sidewalk issues that the city is attempting to address in the Whittington Avenue area. And of course, there are many other issues with sidewalks throughout Hot Springs. There will always be future projects. But if people have sidewalk concerns, can they contact you with them? Right.
We'd love to know, especially if there's safety concern, trip hazards, 321-6982.
Thank you, Gary, so much for illustrating some of the projects that are going on right now in the city of Hot Springs. And next week, we'll bring you more city news.
Thank you.